Hello everyone, this is going to be my speeded up tutorial and I'm going to talk you through what I'm doing. I'm doing acid burn. So first I'm going to take a Q-tip and I'm going to put it in some alcohol and rub it all over my hand. And I'm going to wait for that to dry. In the meantime I'm going to take some nose and skull wax out of this pot and using a metal spatula, be careful not to put in the metal spatula, and just put it aside. And taking some Carolean spirit gum, make sure that area is dry before you put it on. Take the spirit gum and put it over the area. Make sure you cover it completely. Then taking some moisturiser, moisturise your fingertips and knead the skull wax. And it's just so much easier with moisturiser and it's so much easier to work with. So just keep doing that. I'm going for a pancake shape, kind of. So keep doing that until your desired shape is made. Now, I was just waiting for the spirit gum to dry. It wasn't completely as dry as I wanted it then. So I got a hairdryer for a couple of seconds and then it was tacky enough. And then I got the skull wax and put it on the area and tapped it down. Then taking a smaller metal spatula, blend the edges. This takes a bit of time, but blending the edges does take time. I just kept working on it and just take your time, be very careful because you don't want to ruin it halfway through or something. You just want to make sure the edges are blended in to your skin as much as you can, as much as possible. It'll just give for a more realistic looking wound. I actually had a phone call then from my dad. That's why I paused. So just keep blending the edges as much as you can. Then smooth it down slightly with your finger. Then taking some Vaseline and an earbud, rub it over the area. And this will just help to smooth the edges and make it appear more smooth and everything. And it'll look much nicer and it won't be as rough. So just keep doing that with an earbud. Then if you want to go in again and here I'm just smoothing it out with Vaseline again, so just rub your finger over it and with the earbud. Now I'm taking a sculpting tool, quite a pointy, and I'm cutting out the middle, just dotting it around, making the outline where I'll be taking the middle section out. Be careful with this, you don't want to lift the edges up while you're doing this, so just take your time. Then taking the metal spatula, start to turn up the edges of the wax in the middle and start to try and pull it out basically, and keep smoothing down the edges as you go along. So just take your time while doing this. It does take time and you've got to be as careful as possible. So just keep using that tool. Be very careful. Smooth around the edges just to make sure it's super secure. Just close up what I was doing there. And just smooth around the edges once more. Probably will again. Now I've just taken the middle out and I can make it how I want it and make the edges of the wound appear rough. And I'm just again smoothing around the edges and shaping it how I want it. So just keep continuing to shape. I spend a lot of time doing that, I know I do. I'm just taking some Vaseline again and rubbing it over. There you go, just a little bit close up. And just keep, I know I'm spending ages on this, I'm sorry. Just keep smoothing it over. Wow, I didn't realise how long I spent on this. Now taking some liquid latex and an earbud, start to cover the wound. This will help it seal it in and keep it in place, and it will be a lot more secure on your arm. So just take your time while doing this and work it all over the wound, even in the centre as well. I'm using an earbud for convenience sake. I don't like using brushes because I have to clean them afterwards and it can sometimes ruin brushes. So with an earbud I can just throw it away afterwards and it's just much easier. So now you gotta wait for that. Now wait for that to dry, and I'm going to put a sealer on top of the latex. So because you can't put paint on top of latex, it doesn't work. So what you're going to do is open the sealer bottle and put the sealer all over the wound. And also this will help to make it last longer as well. And yeah, it'll keep it in place more, and it'll be a more secure wound. So just keep doing that, put it all over. So keep just doing that with cotton bud. Again, I'm using cotton bud so I don't have to throw any brushes, and it's just for convenience sake. And you can work in the cracks, and it's... So now I've let that sealer dry basically, and I gave it about a couple of minutes. Now I'm just taking this cake blood and I'm working it on the inside of the wound just to give it a base colour. I'm also doing it on the edges, around it, and yeah. Then taking cotton pad, pull it apart and rip it up. And I'm going to use this for the inside, and I'm going to be using it as the little, just give it texture. And I put a bit of spirit gum inside that wound, and I'm going to be putting the bits of cotton wool inside. I didn't have any cotton wool, so I had to rip up a cotton pad. So just get a earbud and tap it down inside to make sure it's secure. You may want to use a bit. I'm using the spirit gum when it's wet, and it's going to stick a bit better then. And you're meant to use it when it's tacky on the skin, but I'm using it when it's wet in the wound. So just keep repeating that. It's quite fiddly, and it does get stuck to your fingers a bit, and it is a bit tricky. But just keep working it in, and the base colour will show through, and that's why we put the base colour on, so you don't just see skin through the cotton wool. So keep working that and put the cake blood on top of that wool, and you can see we've already got a bit of texture going on there. And I'm just taking a Carolean grease paint, and I'm going to work that with a brush inside. Now I switched to a cotton bud there, and just work it inside. I'm using the black colour, and this will give it more depth, and it'll look more realistic and more disgusting looking. Now I'm taking this wound filler by Carolean. It's like jelly, and it's really cool. It just gives this really weird effect to it, and you can just use it and it will make a wound look a bit more realistic, and it will just give more texture to it. And I'm taking more of the grease paint, and I'm working it around the edges and blending it into my skin more. And I'm just using a cotton bud, as again for convenience sake. Then taking a brush, I'm just working it in. And now I'm taking dark blood by Carolean. I'm just working it all around the area, and as you can see, it's looking quite disgusting at the minute. Lovely. Taking a tissue, I'm just tapping it out, and it will look more realistically tapped with tissue. And there it is, really. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Comment, like, subscribe. Bye!